We're Ashley and Jordan. In May of 2019, we quit our jobs and left home to travel the world full-time. Our goal is to see as much of the world as possible through delicious food, breathtaking nature, and the different people and cultures that call this planet home. Feel free to subscribe and follow along as we keep going places. After our first full day in Brussels, we're ready to head out again for another day of Belgian eats and treats. But first, something different, the Atomium. Good morning, it is our second full day here in Brussels, Belgium, and we have another day of mostly sightseeing, a little food, the usual. We are starting our day here at the Atomium, which you can probably see behind me. It is kind of on the outskirts of town. It took us a good hour probably to get there from our Airbnb, but it's really cool. So, a little bit about it before we go inside. The Atomium is essentially this huge museum structure. It was built in 1958 for the World's Fair, and at the time that it was built, it was the 6th largest metal structure in the world and also had some of the world's fastest elevators carrying 500 people an hour, so it's really cool. Inside you have, and also the actual structure of it, of course, is an iron crystal magnified 165 billion times its size. That's super duper cool. It's got 9 little atoms on it with 20 bars connecting them, and inside are little museum exhibits and escalators and elevators, and we're gonna go explore the whole thing. Oh, also, to get in, you're gonna need a ticket. It's €15 per person. That includes the Atomium Museum, and whatever temporary exhibits they have that day as well. Let's go.
It's really cool. There's a great view of all of, Brussels on all edges, and you can see all the fall colors. It's beautiful. Started at 1, we took the elevator all the way to the top observation deck. Then we went down to number 2. Then we went to 3, 4. We're currently at 5, and we're about to have to go back down to 6, and then we'll end. We just finished exploring the Atomium Museum, and Ashley and I really enjoyed it. We think it is totally worth the €15 per person to get into the museum. A couple of fun facts that we learned about the Atomium. So they chose the atom structure specifically for this building because this was the location of the World's Fair, the first World's Fair after World War II. They no longer wanted the atom to represent wartime and the atomic bomb. They wanted the atom to represent energy in peacetime. So that's why they chose the atom. Also, the way Atomium got its name was by merging the words atom and aluminum together. You get Atomium. Funny enough, the reason it's a metal structure was to represent Belgium's steel industry and their bustling steel industry. But they didn't build the building out of steel. They ended up choosing aluminum for whatever architectural engineering reasons, and that's why it's called the Atomium. Other facts we learned about it: the World's Fair that happened here lasted about 6 months, and over 42 million people attended that World's Fair. So we're done here. We're gonna head out now to our next location, which I believe is lunch, actually, because we're both really hungry. And then after that, we're gonna continue exploring Brussels.
Alright, so after a surprisingly good Thai lunch over by the Atomium called Somtam, we'll link that below. Anyway, after a good lunch, we are back in the main part of Brussels, and our next stop is called the Galerie de la Reine, the Queen's Gallery. It's like an indoor shopping mall that's supposed to be really beautiful, and I hear they have chocolate there, so we're gonna get some of that. And then after that, we're going to explore the area. Hopefully, if we have time, the end of the day, the goal is to stop at the Parliamentarium, which is where the EU Parliament is, and go to the little free museum they have there. So that's the plan. We'll see how many of those we can hit up, but here we go. Isn't it? This leather store here made me do a double take. Anybody else who's a Harry Potter fan, I was like, that looks like all the vendors. Looks like I'm gonna go buy a wand in there with all the boxes on the wall. It was cool. What a great, like, it would be such a cool gift. Europe and some of Africa.
Okay. And why Africa? I'm curious.
We went to Kenya, South Africa, and Spain. So we walked the full length of the gallery looking at all the chocolate shops. There seems to be like 3 categories of shops here: chocolate, waffles, and jewelry. So we went to a chocolate shop. There's tons to choose from, but we chose Pierre Macchiarini. These. And the people in there were so nice, and he helped us pick out a box of chocolates from chocolates around the world. So essentially all the different countries that they source their cocoa beans from, they have a dark chocolate from each country, and we thought, we love the world. Let's get chocolate from the world. I thought that was really fun. So we're gonna have those after dinner, maybe 1 or 2, and give them a go. I'm sure they're delicious. But anyway, we highly recommend stopping in there. They were so nice. So now, on to the next thing.
Okay, you can't come to Belgium without getting a Belgian beer, right? So we chose this location here. It's called the Delirium Café, and they're known for their craft beer, specifically a specific variety called the Delirium Tremens. So we're gonna give that a try right now. just left the Delirium Café, and Ashley and I really enjoyed it. We're not the biggest beer drinkers. We definitely enjoy more cocktail styles or champagne, but we really enjoyed it. The beer I got was the Delirium Tremens, and I actually really enjoyed it. It cost 3.8 euros for 25 centiliters, I believe. Ashley's cost 4.8 euros. We definitely recommend it if you're here. Come check it out. We'll link it in the description below. But now we're gonna head to our next location.
It really is gorgeous.
Birds and bees, then all the lights, yeah, we're all affected. Watching, pray, I'm breathing in.
Okay, so we are back home. We're gonna have a little Mr. Rogers moment and debrief about our evening. So, we stopped by the European Parliamentarium, which is a free museum, exhibit, education center attached to the European Parliament building. It was really cool. We got there with only like 30 minutes left until closing time, so we set our stuff in the lockers super fast, and one of the employees recommended to go straight down to level 2 and watch the movie that they show. So that's what we did.
For the safety of the products you buy are decided on a European level.
Ideas and interests from all over Europe meet.
So anyway, the movie was so cool. The room that you watch it in is set up like Parliament. You're sitting in really nice sort of office chairs all in a circle like they do, and the film is all around you.
What are these refugees? Well, actually, there are 8 within the
Really neat, sort of explained the process and how interpretation works and the different, steps to getting resolutions passed in the Parliament. Very cool, totally worth a stop, especially if you are either, super interested in government, or you have maybe like a teen or a older kid who would get it. Very educational stuff. I think they would really enjoy an afternoon there. A few hours would be great, maybe 2, depends. Anyway, great day. We are now going to start cooking dinner and see you all in the morning. So good night. The 6th largest metal structure in the world. And also had some of the world's fastest elevators carrying 500 people an hour. So it's really cool. Inside you have, and
over 42 million people attended that year's World's Fair. So we're done here. We're gonna head out now to our next location, which I believe is lunch, actually, because we're both really hungry. Then after that, we're gonna continue, exploring Brussels.
how many takes did that take? Woo!
After this crowd, you can go around it.